Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about massive news of Quant's usage across the wider UK economy and what this could mean for Quant. So before we talk about the main story today, I'd like to show you a clip of Lord Chris Holmes, who is a member of the House of Lords in the UK, where he discusses details about developments across the UK in regards to CBDC developments and how interoperability will become increasingly more important.
In order to achieve all these things, cooperation, collaboration, leadership in technology innovation, the practical application of technology to solve really human challenges that are facing us and the planet. What do we need to do as a country? What kind of frameworks do we need to have in place? What kind of policy do we need to have in place?
Firstly, it needs to be human-led. And that sounds easy and obvious, but it really needs to be driven through all of this, human-led. If we don't make a success of this, it won't be a failure of technology. It will be a failure of us. We're prime. We must lead on this stuff. So firstly, the human leadership, then the international perspective, being open to convene, to collaborate, to create through that process. Then to understand key concepts such as interoperability. There's no point putting a technological solution or a regulatory regime in place if that concept of interoperability hasn't been well thought through and doesn't run through that as a thread. So
as detailed in the previous clip, the global financial system is set to undergo excessive changes, most notably due to the rolling out and implementation of DLT innovations, most notably stablecoins and CBDCs. So as mentioned, the utility of DLT innovations, most notably blockchain, could become increasingly more important, especially in regards to improving the seamlessness and the actualization of transactions which emerge and arise on a wider economy scale across, especially within the UK in this given example. So not only is Quant a member of the Digital Pan Foundation, which is mainly centred around providing insights and advice to the Bank of England in regards to their very own CBDC developments, the Quant team have actually collaborated with other financial institutions around the world, where in a recent meeting with the Quant CEO, coupled with JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, Nexi and the European Central Bank, the meeting between these bodies were actually centred around developments involving CBDCs across the wider European marketplace and how CBDCs will become increasingly more important and necessitous to establish financial activities which occur within Europe, and how CBDCs will become invariably more important in authorising and powering financial activities which occur and arise within the European Union. So details about the verification and the ability for transactions to be authorised on a CBDC basis across the wider UK economy is also coupled with Gilbert Verdi and the Quant CEO also discussing recent work about how CBDCs will become integral across the wider UK economy and how CBDCs will be implemented and utilised by the likes of the Bank of England and will go about allowing for the tokenisation of banking infrastructure and protocols. So it goes to show how widely incorporated Quant's use cases is, especially in regards to banking infrastructure and future CBDC developments, especially across the wider UK economy. So the following diagram actually illustrates to the potential benefits Quant's use cases can provide, most notably Overledger. So Quant may not necessarily be involved in the actual creation of a given CBDC, but instead Quant's use cases, including Overledger, could be incorporated, especially to improve the seamlessness and the ability for CBDCs and other blockchain infrastructure across the financial sector to interact with other DLTs or even legacy systems. And this will become increasingly more important, especially as central banks will have to roll out some sort of API gateway to allow for their CBDC ledgers to interact with legacy banking protocols and financial utilities. So time will tell whether the likes of Quant's innovations, most notably Overledger, will be incorporated and encompassed within such developments and what this could mean, especially in regards to the utility of Overledger and use cases surrounding the QNT cryptocurrency, where there's a number of benefits in terms of the QNT cryptocurrency, where the Quant team have actually stated as to how, if a body or even an individual wishes to utilize Overledger, they'd have to pay a licensing fee in the form of QNT. And this is further coupled with when transactions are authorized and when datasets are passed through Overledger, these actions and mechanisms will be actively authorized and verified through QNT. So QNT has a dual means of utility, and it has further utilities too. And these methods of actualization and utility could lead to the likes of QNT experiencing sizable increases to its demand. And as a result, this may have synonymous increases to the price of QNT, especially over the long run. And as the likes of Quant's use cases, most notably Overledger, increase in utility, especially over time, and as Quant becomes more integrated into financial infrastructure in a number of nations, most notably the UK. But again, time will tell, and it'll be interesting to see how these developments play out. So another article I'd like to talk about is how Quant is actually working alongside a number of other financial institutions across the wider UK economy, where the Quant team are actually working alongside several UK banks in response to the experimentation of a digital pound backed by tokenized deposits. So the actual article highlights how the UK Regulated Liability Network, which is a all-encompassing organisation which is mainly centred around providing support across the UK financial sector to improve workflows in the present and over the long run. So as part of this initiative, the organisation actually pointed to the concept of cross-border payments and how cross-border payments will become integral not just within the UK, but also among other nations in the form of CBDCs and other DLT innovations, including stablecoins. So the actual article actually highlighted how this initiative, the UK Regulated Liability Network, is set to encompass three of the largest banks in the UK in HSBC, Barclays and Lloyds. And Santander, Visa and other organisations are also set to partake in this initiative. So this is an article published by UK Finance where they go into a bit more depth about financial developments across the UK and how there's an increased need to update financial instruments in the UK and how the likes of CBDCs could become imperatively more important, especially in regards to validating transactions, and how DLT could become incorporated into CBDCs. So I highly recommend looking through this document, and I'll include this document in the description below. So as mentioned, this initiative is mainly centered around cross-border payments and how a CBDC, a UK CBDC, could be directly utilized and will play a key role again in cross-border payments and the authorization and the settlement of transactions in a secure manner. And again, yes, so it all goes back to CBDC utility and implementation, where the Bank of England have actually stated that there is more than 50% chance that the central bank will launch a CBDC, and how third-party organisations may provide programmability and further support in leveraging CBDCs, and how these developments could encompass the wider UK economy and further afield. So very interesting, and it will be very insightful in regards to how these developments will play out and which third-party organisations will be involved in such developments. As I previously mentioned, a number of the biggest financial bodies in the UK are already involved in financial developments in the UK, so they may be involved in this development. And furthermore, Quant was actually also referenced in the article, where the article actually referenced to a range of technologies that could be involved, especially in regards to DLT, where the article actually noted to how Corda, Adara, Millicent, Quant, Polygon, Canton, Settle and Nox could all be incorporated and utilised across the wider UK economy over the long run. And again, it's very interesting that they noted to Quant's innovations, and it makes no surprise really, especially if we look at the number of affiliations and partnerships the Quant team have across the wider UK economy, and how Quant is actively working alongside the likes of the Digital Pound Foundation and have actually worked with the Bank of England and have now been referenced in the previous paper. So Quant could become an increasingly more important piece within financial activities across the wider UK economy and further afield. But again, time will tell, and it will be interesting to see how these developments play out and whether, again, Quant will be leveraged. Quant's use cases will be leveraged, including Overledger, for actions and utility surrounding the ability for DLTs to interact and interconnect and interoperate, and DLTs interoperating with legacy systems. What are your thoughts on Quant? Do you think the UK should use Quant? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching Crypto Clan. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.